Welcome back, my horde, to a 1, 2, 3 podcast. You may be wondering to yourself, what is a 1, 2, 3 podcast? Well, Tammy wondered the exact same thing. And then, let's inform each other. A 1, 2, 3 podcast is where I talk about 1, 2, and 3 objects. Why did I call it that? Because I'm silly. So the first topic, number 1, is Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Taskmaster is a TV series, a British TV series that me and Tammy have been watching on YouTube because there's actually like an official page that has everything. Taskmaster is a show where they take British comedians,
Yeah.
and they do tasks. The premise of the show is like, the first thing they have to do is usually bring in an object. So, like, for example, one of the episodes was they had to bring in a vegetable autographed by a celebrity. And then basically they get points for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points, because there's 5 of them. And 5 being the best points. At the end of the episode, they get... whoever has the most points gets all of the items that they brought in. Now, I don't know if they actually really do keep the items, because there's been a couple times when it's like the guy brought in a stove at one point.
Yeah. His kitchen stove, because it had a clock on it.
Yeah, because it was like the most flamboyant clock.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure if they actually get the items, but at least it makes you believe that they do. At the end of the entire series, whoever has the most points, calculating all the episodes up together, leaves with a statue of the Taskmaster's head.
Supposedly in gold, but...
Yeah. So it's an amusing comedy thing. I think each episode is about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And the first season...
I think it was 3 seasons, yeah.
Or like, what?
6 episodes.
Yeah, 6, and then afterwards it's like 8 now.
Yeah.
Or 9. But I think there's 11 of them altogether, 11 seasons.
Sounds about right, yeah.
So I'm hoping there's one where it's all the winners come back.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Well, we're in season 5, so maybe season 6.
I was hoping that season 6 they have all the winners, and then season 11 they had all the winners, but...
Yeah.
And then, if they kept going, then they would pull the winners from all the winner ones.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to do that.
Ultimate champion.
But that was number 1. We're on season 5. Or I guess they call it series 5. Because, English. Number 2 was Cyberpunk. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk.
I've been not playing a lot of Cyberpunk. I played some, so there's that.
Hey, Nico. Would you like to come up and hang out? Yeah? Okay. That's enough, though. So, yeah, Cyberpunk. Tammy can't play it that much because of it being first person. And it being stuck in first person.
Yeah.
Unless you do driving. Oh my god, that's so disorienting. So the driving in it's not the greatest to begin with. I think my biggest problem is the fact that so many games nowadays have the little line that you can follow on the ground. And this one doesn't.
Yeah, I think that was introduced with Forza.
I know that Forza started doing some of it, but it was like... Freaking, I think GTA 4 started doing stuff like that. I know, sorry about that. Now I made Tammy yawn. But no, it's just there's no line on the ground to follow. You have to go by your little mini-map, and I find that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because I'll be racing down the street, then all of a sudden it's turn left, basically. I'm like, oh god, I'm already way too fast. I'm doing 150.
You need to be like doing 30 or 40 to round the corner
Yeah.
safely.
And not even just that, but I did a race in the game.
Yeah.
At some point, you actually could do races, and it has that line that you can follow. So it had it in its system.
Yeah, it just didn't have it in the free roam aspect, I guess.
Yeah. So that was just a pain. I know a lot of people are having problems with it, like glitching out. I've only had minor glitches here and there. But I'm also playing on a Series X. But no, the disorienting part is the fact that it put me in the race. It put me on third person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. I'll deal with it like this. You know, got out of the race, did some stuff, and got onto a vehicle. And as soon as I got onto the vehicle, it defaulted back to third person with racing.
Okay.
So I got onto my bike and then immediately just jolted out of my skull and into like a over the head thing. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So.
No, I can see where that could be disorientating. For me, it's just anything really first person-y just kind of ends up screwing me up, so.
Yeah. But, yeah, overall, it's a very sexualized game.
Yeah.
But it is fun.
You find lots of stuff. Adult stuff.
Yeah, apparently the one thing you kept finding was actually a glitch. There was just like, it was supposed to be like between 1 and like 100 different items that spawn. And what was happening was the fact that if it rolled any number between, 1 and 50, for example,
yeah,
it spawned one of them. If it rolled anywhere after 50, basically it would re-roll coming in and get all the other stuff. So you basically just kept spawning that. Though I believe that was actually something they put in there. It's like, oh, there's going to be lots of them in there. Yeah. But then people started commenting about how awful it was and stuff. They're like, oops, we're just going to remove that. Because there's like so much more stuff that is very sexualized in that game. Like,
yeah. Well, like I was going to say, it seems that they've gotten to the point and they're showing that society's become very pansexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, anything, anyone.
That's one thing. The other thing is like the concept that it's like Sin City, basically.
Yeah.
You name a sin, there's pretty much a place for it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I've seen it as I played.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. How I got something in my ear. Anyway. Yeah, so there's that. Now, you guys probably have noticed that there's, if you're actually listening to this and also paying attention to everything else that happens on the channel, that there hasn't been a lot of videos. That's just because of the fact that, like, I keep trying to record things, but, like, this comes up or that comes up or stuff happens. I have some recorded, but I have to record some more tomorrow. So, that's just me, like, basically life getting in the way now.
Mm-hmm. Same with me. I mean, I could have had stuff recorded, but I honestly just have not been feeling it. Like,
yeah,
I've been just getting more, like, the closer we get to holidays, I just feel I'm getting more and more agitated. I don't really have a reliable explanation for it, really.
Yeah.
Like, I always seem to get like this around the holidays, and it just, I don't know, it irks me.
Well, it's got nothing to do with the holidays for me. It's just like, just trying to get like certain things, other things done.
Yeah.
And then I just like sit down and I'm like, well, I could record. I'm like, but I don't want to talk. That's like why I haven't been even streaming on Twitch that much, because I have to talk. I'm just like, I don't even want to talk.
Yeah.
So. But the last thing I was going to talk about was actually Christmas. And if you had any Christmas / New Year's, because I only want to do one of these little things, and I think I have more New Year's comments than Christmas comments. If you have anything like that, like stories that you want to tell. I can only think of like 3 things. Everything else is kind of just like not noteworthy.
Yeah, the problem is I don't really remember a whole lot for certain things. I do remember one of the times we went to my parents' place and they left the tree up. We were there for I think 2 or 3 days before, and then I was like, hey, we should really decorate the tree. They're like, and I'm like a Grinch. I'm like totally non-Christmas, non-holidays, like no nonsense. And I'm like, okay, guys, we should really, decorate this tree. And they're like, oh no, it's okay, we still have time. I'm like, next day happens, the 23rd. I'm like, okay, we should really decorate this tree. No, it's okay. We have, I need to get this done, and we should really get this done. And as procrastination occurs, and then, it was the 24th, Christmas Eve. I'm like, we should really get this done. So I just started decorating, and my mom's like, no, sweetheart, don't do, we'll get doing it. And I'm like, no, it's getting done now. I don't care who's taking a nap. We're getting it done.
Well, it is one of the things with your family, at least with your parents, is they'll have a 12-item to-do list for that day, and they'll get done maybe 8 of those things, and the other 4 go on to the next day's list, which has, 12 items already on it. So now you're at 16, and then, just so on and so forth. And I know one of the things that you and me commented on once is the fact that, like, you and me had slept in. And everyone was getting kind of... this is back in the day. Like, we've been together for a stupid amount of time. 14 years?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I just had to do my math. Because this was our 5th year anniversary this year, and we've been together for 9 before that. So, for the amount of time that we've been together, it was like near the beginning. But we'd show up, and me and Tammy would sleep until like 10:30.
Yeah.
11. Kind of a deal, like 12 sometimes. Because we were both night people. Like, at that point in time, I think Tammy was actually working...
graveyards, yeah.
Yeah, late night actually at a place. And I had always worked late nights when I was working before. And I've always been a night person to begin with. So, we'd show up and, like, do that. And then, like, they'd be like, oh, man, like, you missed most of the day. You guys are, we had to do all this stuff without you guys. So on and so forth. And we're like, okay. And then they're like, yeah, like, we got up at, like, 7.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Like, sorry that we wasted, 3 to 5 hours of your day. Let's get everything else we need to get done then. And then they go take a nap.
Yep.
And it was like, right before their nap, they started, like, winding down. And then after their nap, they were not, like, quick to, like, go.
There was no quick recovery.
So it was like, I'm like talking to Tammy. I'm like, man, that's like 2 hours they just wasted.
Yeah, I can't do naps though.
No, I can't. But it's like not like an hour or 2 nap. It's like I have to do like a 3 to 4 hour nap.
Yeah. But regardless, that's the one thing I really remember for Christmas-esque stuff.
Well, I remember just going back to like your mom's stuff. I remember at one point she was talking about the fact that she wanted something painted on her wall, and she really wanted this painted on her wall. And we're like, yeah, like we'll paint it on your wall. We have no problem painting on your wall. That's what we're going to be doing. And she's talking about the fact no one's listening to her and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I told you yesterday we were going to paint the wall today. And she's like talking about something else. I'm like, when Tammy gets up, I will send her towards you, and we will paint that goddamn wall. And then like she kind of like I was like, oh well, and then like you got up and I just sent you to her. And then she said something about it, and you're like, No, that's what I told you yesterday. I was going to paint the wall. Like, independently from each other. And that's when I think she realized, oh, maybe I just wasn't listening yesterday.
Yeah, that tends to be a problem as well. Is somebody isn't paying attention or their attention is drawn elsewhere and...
Well, I think it's the problem is with your mom. At least in that scenario. She'd been talking about having that wall painted for months. But every time it came up, every time she brought it up with you, at least, your immediate thing was, give me the paint, show me what you want done, and I'll do it. Yeah. And that was what you said every single time. But there was, and she would be like, down before, but like she'd bring it up to other people and bring the topic up, and it would never get resolved.
Yeah. Because she was talking to the wrong peoples.
And then finally, like, you know, that, we got, with that day, Tammy actually, I was like, drew it out. And then, after she drew it out, we went and got the paint, came back, and Tammy painted the outline of it.
I busted that out in, like, less than 10 hours.
And then after the outline was done, did we have to come back?
No, I did that all in one day.
Okay. So what was...
I did all of the base color in one day, and then I started doing the shading and stuff, but by that time it was already like getting close to 9 or 10 at night, and Mom's like, just stop.
I know there was something else that we were doing where we either started or were going to start it, then had to come back like a month later to do it.
I know we added the leaves the second time, like the second visit around.
Yeah.
But that was because that's what she wanted to do. And she needed different colors of paint for that.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was then.
It might have been we did her bathroom door.
I remember doing that one quite quickly.
It was just the fact that we had to put so many layers of white down. Ouch.
Or it could have been the wall I'm thinking of, and it's just the fact that, like, we indicated that we couldn't do it that time, and we had to come back, like...
Possibly. The problem is that
2 weeks later.
My parents' house at the time was, like, a hot spot for everyone to reside.
Yeah.
Because my parents are very sociable creatures, so they have...
No. I think, maybe your blanket.
I think so, yeah.
Because that was another thing.
Throw blanket that we made. Yeah. Which I ended up doing a majority with Mom, and then she finished it.
Yeah.
And brought it. But yeah, no. The problem is that she's... Like, my parents are very sociable people, and they usually always have people at the house. So... And... Yeah. So... Yeah. It's kind of odd now because of the whole situation.
Well, apparently they still have people come over occasionally. They just don't have them into large groups.
Yeah.
They're a lot smaller groups.
They have their bubbles.
But they're also in a smaller place.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot less people. And also, the amount of cases that have been recorded where we live are quite low in comparison to everywhere else.
Yeah.
I think we are...
But we got vaccinations.
Well, we'll see.
No. We do. Now.
Well, last time I heard, they weren't tested fully yet. They were still getting tested. But we'll see.
As far as I'm aware, it's the same people who make Viagra. And it's been tested, and we've gotten some people vaccinated as of today.
Cool. I know that with us, it's going to be no big deal. Like, as in, like, you know, because we're Canadians.
Those are health people.
I bet vaccinating the fucking certain health people would make sense first. They're the front lines. Mm-hmm. They do it first. If it's where it doesn't have any, if it's already done all the testing, then yeah, you get them first, and you get elderly second, and then you get everyone done third.
Yeah, the radio peoples were saying that hopefully we can have everyone vaccinated in our province by the end of 2021.
Yeah.
anyone who voluntarily wants to get vaccinated. Obviously, they're not going to drag those anti-vaxxer moms. Oh my god.
Well, as long as the vaccine works for all the strands, yeah, it doesn't really matter then. It would suck for them getting it, but yeah. Theoretically, you would be... I'm just hoping it's not like the flu. Because theoretically, this is supposed to be like the flu. That's why you can't get a full vaccine for the flu. You can only get a half vaccine. Because the fact that every year the flu changes.
Yeah.
So, I know you know that, but just saying it out loud. The number 3, this is number 3, the Christmas stuff, just in case I didn't say that exactly. I think the only, like, Christmas stuff I can remember is, like, the one time that we went to your parents, and it could have been for your birthday, but nonetheless, there was snow on the ground, and we were playing hockey, like street hockey and stuff, and your uncle theoretically got mad at me.
Yeah, well.
Because I've always been a weird type of competitive, in which I'm competitive, like I'll play hard, but at the exact same time, if someone does something, I'm very much also like, good job, man, even if he's not on my team.
Well, yeah, you're complimenting the skill.
So, like, you know, like, one of the enemies scored, and he scored, like, a good goal. Like, I'm like, oh, man, good shot. And then her uncle's like, he's not our team. Stop congratulating him. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Everyone's on my team.
Well, it's like what happens in some, like, it's not necessarily, like, North American style TV, like, competitive shows, but I find it a lot in, like, Japanese ones, like the original Ninja Warrior or stuff like that. They always had, like, they had other competitors who were just there to, like, really enjoy themselves, and they would follow the person cheering them on. They're like, you can do this, you know, and they're like showing, you know, oh, you know, when I found when I got to this part, this was my kind of strategy, and like, so they want people to succeed even if they didn't. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like, I even, like, with Taskmaster, going back to that, one of the episodes in there, it's supposed to be a team event, and they're all, like, hindering each other, trying to get the job done instead of working together. Yeah. And then the other team worked together without, you know, a single word.
The one realized, he has to put stuff in that, but I'm supposed to cover it. Yeah. Well, I'll let him get some more stuff in there, and then he can help me. And then the other guy's like, oh, they're trying to cover it, but they're letting me get stuff in. Okay, well, I'll help them do the covering part.
Yeah, because the task was you had to fill the tub with random stuff. That was my job. Tammy's job is to cover the tub in saran wrap. But we're not supposed to actually, like, talk to each other to actually say those words when we're doing the original task. Like, they give us, like, a piece of paper that tells us what our task is. But with that, the guy started shoving things in, and she started, like, covering his saran wrap, but she was only covering half of it and was waiting for him to, like, finish his stuff, and then she started trying to cover the other half, and he started helping her cover the other half. But yeah, he started actually, like, after he was done putting all this stuff in, he started seeing her, like, you know, struggle with the saran wrap, and he just started grabbing, like, one of the rolls and started, like, putting it out for her, like, you know, helping her, you know, cover it. And they basically, you know, won because they did a great job quickly.
They did both their tasks, and they didn't have to spell it out for each other. Yeah. There was the cohesion of teamwork.
The other team, one had to fill it, one had to put the saran wrap, but because it's a 2v, because there's 5 people, it's a 2v3, the third person had to fill it with water. Yep. So as the one guy's just filling it with water, just stand there, filling it with water, one guy's putting, I think it's the girl who's putting a table in there, and the guy basically is trying to cover it, saran wrap, and she rips his saran wrap off of it. So in retaliation, he grabs her table and pulls it out. And then, you know, she goes and, like, they're fighting back and forth, basically trying to cover it, saran wrap. And, like, she grabs his saran wrap and, like, runs away with it at one point and, like, throws it across the grass.
Yeah, the grass. Or I think one of them got over the fence. And, like, and then there's just the one guy with the hose, like, Are we supposed to do this as a team? Do you guys have the same tasks?
Yeah, no, he even asked that. Like, right before they, like, said ready, set, go. He's like, is this a team task? And then, like, they basically said go, and then he's like, okay. So, yeah, it's...
Yeah, no, he would have been the one that followed his tasks the most if it wasn't for the fact that one of the items that was thrown in got dislodged the plug. Yep. And it slowly started draining.
Yeah.
So... It was good. It was fun.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that have, like, been disqualified for not listening to the rules properly. Like, there's one where they have to...
Touch. Don't move.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. I really can't remember. Oh, it was... Okay. Move the water from fish tank A to fish tank B using only the items on the table. You cannot move... the fish tanks.
Yeah, the first sentence was, do not move the fish tank. Or, do not move the fish tanks.
So the one girl got disqualified immediately because she picked up fish tank A and poured it into fish tank B.
Yeah.
And then, a couple of the other guys, like, you know, did interesting things and stuff like that. And then, you know, they walk away, and one of the items on the table was chocolate.
A bar of chocolate.
Yeah. So one of the guys, like, even commented about the fact of, who would use a bar of chocolate? That's weird. To move water? Why would you use a bar of chocolate? A couple of people ate the chocolate. Well, on the back of the task,
yeah.
It literally says, do not eat the chocolate. If you do, you lose 5 points.
Yep. So, definitely a cheeky game. And definitely manipulatable. Like, get a basketball through the hoop without touching the ball. Does not say anything. Oh, yeah, without touching the ball with your hands. Or anything like a glove.
That can be construed as a glove. So the one girl lost because she used boots.
On her hands.
Yeah. And the guy goes, they're just gloves for your feet. Come on.
So, what Rob so brilliantly said was, why don't you just tip the basket over and then kick it through the hoop? None of them did that, by the way.
Yeah.
They all tried either, like, kicking it or, like, picking it up with a rake and a crutch or, like... So it's a lot of, like, cheeky interpretation.
Or there was the one where you had to, halfway down a racetrack, you had to take a water from the one jug to the other jug. But you cannot move the jugs. And it's, like, again, halfway down the thing. So, and they give you, like, a bunch of, like, things to use. And it's, like, a glove with a hole in it, a
strainer, a small piece of hose, but not long enough to get from bucket A to bucket B.
Yeah, it was, like, freaking about arm's length. You know, stuff like that. So the one guy goes, huh. Looks at it and goes, and this guy has been known for the entire series about just throwing money around.
Throwing money at his problems.
Yeah. So he literally looks at the guy and goes, I'll give you $100 to move the bucket for me.
Yeah, and one of the other competitors is like, she's like, would you move the bucket for me? And he's like, no, I wouldn't move the bucket for anyone.
Yeah, and then it literally goes to the other guy. And, like, these tasks, how they work, because we never really went over that, how this all works is the fact that they filmed this series 6 months in advance.
Something like that, yeah.
So all these tasks have been done 6 months in advance, except for the first challenge and the last challenge. The first challenge is to bring in an object, and the last challenge is on stage. But all the other challenges have been done like 6 months in advance.
Something like that, yeah. And they're all on the same piece of property, or somewhere else that they've rented.
Yeah. So, each person is filmed separately. So, like, you know, unless they're done group challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you don't get to see anything your component does, nothing like that. And also, like, that you have, like, this time delay. Like, one of them was you have to get a gift for the Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Here's $20. And the one guy went to the racetrack with his $20, won a bunch of money, and then donated it.
Yeah.
To a charity under his name.
Another person ended up buying him a little plot of land somewhere, and he became lord of the land.
Yeah, I think it's Scotland.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's actually, I think that was the same series.
Yeah.
So the one guy's like, I got to give it to the concept of, I can't remember who he gave it to.
I think he gave it to the most points to the person who gave him the lordship, and then second place was the donation because it meant more that he was a lord who donated this money.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, it's a lot of cheek and tongue, I think is the term.
But anyway, we're going to let you go. Yeah. I'm going to try to post everything within the next week. I do have one of my other series. I'm going to give you guys extra ones because Tammy recorded it with me and last week before the mic incident. So we have that. And then, I just haven't posted it because, getting time. But no less. See you guys later.